Dave here with Limitless Brave. For the past 16 years, I've been mentoring men to help them shift their mindsets so they can shift their worlds. Helping them with their dating life, their marriages, their divorces, their careers and businesses, as well as living an awesome lifestyle. And of course, everybody's favorite, making more money. If you're interested in my upcoming workshops or joining an awesome community of like-minded men, go down into the description. There's a list of all the upcoming workshops I'm running, as well as the Limitless Brave private reserve community, which you can currently join for free. The topic we're going to talk about today is men's fear of intimacy. Now, I just ran the Masculine Mindset Live workshop 2 days ago here in Bucharest, Romania. And one of the main topics that was popping up when we were doing some of the model work and energetic connection work was fear of intimacy. Guys were afraid to connect because feeling all those emotions is a very intense experience and very difficult to process. Millions of men struggle with this fear of intimacy. And some men feel like they're going to be weak if they show some vulnerability, if they connect on a more intimate level. And that couldn't be further from the truth. That's actually going to make you stronger. You're going to have deeper connections with the women that you're intimate with, as well as just connecting with other guys who, are solid guys, and they want to be around other solid guys, and having a sense of vulnerability to other guys who are more emotionally mature. Really appreciate that. Now, as guys, we're always going to tease each other. We're always going to give each other a hard time. But if one of your buddies is being vulnerable with you, you should respect that and treat it right. Don't make fun of him. There's a time and place for, picking on your buddies and giving them a hard time. But when a man's being vulnerable, don't do that. That's not cool. So just be aware of that, guys. So ultimately, what is the fear of intimacy? It's really the fear of being seen for who you are, all your faults, all your positives, and putting it out there and laying it on the line, so to speak, and connecting deeper. That is what a lot of men are afraid of, because they're afraid of being judged. They're afraid of being weak. They're afraid of potential addiction to what they will receive when they are being more vulnerable and emotional and intimate. They're afraid of an addiction to a deeper connection like that, like they're not going to be able to find it again. And then we've also got the people that really want deep connection, but they sabotage it by shutting off, destroying relationships, isolation, and just pushing people away in general. It's a conflicting idea in the brain, wanting intimacy, but when it's around, you push it away. And a lot of that just comes down to the fear of being seen, judged, seen as weak, which you're not if you're around healthy people. If you're not around healthy people, get rid of those people, get them out of your life, find more healthy people to open up to and be more vulnerable and connect more intimately. Intimacy isn't just about sexual intimacy. It's about intimate vulnerability. So sexual is a little different than intimate vulnerability. Sexual is going to be more about our wants, needs, desires in the bedroom, romantically. Vulnerable intimacy in general is just going to be sharing a really deep or painful experience that you might be going through, a deep, painful emotion that you might be feeling. So that's kind of the difference between the two. So I'm going to go through some common signs of fear when it comes to emotional or just intimacy in general. It's when someone gets too close to you or you're feeling a deeper connection, you start pulling away, you start sabotaging, you start pushing away. You have a really difficult time expressing emotions, being vulnerable. You usually shut down, resort to humor, say distractive things so that people can't actually really connect with you. Make distractive gestures. That's another thing that people do. You guys will also keep your conversations very surface level. There's no depth, there's no curiosity in your questioning. And when someone questions you, you only give kind of surface level answers. You don't go deeper with your answers. You don't really identify the emotion below the surface. Of course, self-sabotaging relationships when you know they're going well and that anxiety, that nervousness builds up inside of you. So you create problems in the relationship, you sabotage it, you break it, and cause a bunch of issues. And then another thing that guys do is they will go and search for unavailable women, people that don't respect them, people that don't care about their emotional needs, wants. They don't even understand what you need. So be careful of attracting and interacting with emotionally unavailable people. And then, of course, there's the classic isolation or overworking or being too busy or hyper focused on one aspect of your life so that you can just shut everyone out. Could be too much in the gym, too much into your sports, too much into work, isolating at home, playing videos too much, watching too much porn, things like that. Anything to isolate and separate you from connecting with other people. And then one of the final things is looking for faults and problems in other people or relationships that you have to criticize and blame and fault others, even though there's usually nothing wrong. You create these sabotaging type patterns, again, to push people away, keep them away, so you don't have to open up, you don't have to be intimate, you don't have to dive deeper when it comes to intimacy. So where does this fear of intimacy come from? Usually it comes from childhood when emotions were unsafe. You were told to toughen up. You were told not to show emotions. If you showed emotions, you were told you were weak. Your parents may not have been emotional, or they have been extremely emotionally erratic, causing a distrust in intimacy and closeness and in different types of relationships, especially romantic. And of course, there's the classic betrayal of your partners in relationships, family in relationships, your father, your mother, your grandparents. The list goes on and on. Coworkers, friends. Betrayal is another big thing that keeps people away from you. You push them away because you don't want to be betrayed again. And then this is a classic for a lot of guys, the fear of your vulnerability being used against you. And women do this sometimes. Even guys do this to other guys. And when you are being vulnerable and somebody starts using that against you, yeah, you shut down. You totally distrust people, and rightfully so. You're in a vulnerable spot, and people should be respecting that spot instead of using it against you and making fun of you or teasing you about it. And the core underlying fears of all of this are abandonment, rejection, being controlled, fear of being judged, repeating past mistakes, dealing with the emotional pain, having to connect with others. Those are all the deeper fears that cause all this stuff. Abandonment's a really big one, as well as fear of rejection. Those are really high on the list for a lot of guys. And so they don't want to feel that. So it's best just to keep everybody at a distance so you don't have to feel anything. So if you're a guy dealing with a fear of intimacy, a fear of just human connection, a fear of deeper connection, maybe your relationships always end, or you've been through a bad marriage, or friends have betrayed you, come check out the work that I do. We do deep dives on this stuff. You get to work with the Limitless Brave models. They're very attuned to your emotional needs. They're very nurturing, very caring, very loving. And it gives a guy a fresh breath when it comes to being emotionally vulnerable, being more intimate. It's almost like a drink of water. Like a lot of guys say that. They're like, wow. I was like, I really needed that. And a lot of guys don't know they need it until they feel it, and they're in a space where it's controlled and comfortable and it's filled with trust. That's when it clicks. So this is very common to have happen in my workshops. So if you're interested in getting better at your relationships, your marriages, processing trauma and stuff from the past, whether it's a divorce, betrayal, things like that, I can definitely help you guys with that. So again, check out everything in the description below of the upcoming workshops. If you've got any questions, you can message me in that Limitless Brave private reserve community if you join it, or just post your questions in the comments below. And if I get some good questions, I'll make some videos for you guys. So yeah, hope to see you in a workshop, and just understand that millions of men deal with this fear of intimacy. So you're not alone. I had quite a few guys in the workshop this weekend. I would say probably half of them have had this issue where they are afraid of being more intimate. You could just watch their hearts shut down, and the walls come up, and they wouldn't share with the woman in front of them. So hope to see you in the workshop. Take care. See you in the next video.